Hello friends, in today's video, we will have a brief introduction about the concept of density of states. In solid state physics, density of states of a system describes the number of states per interval of energy at each level available to be occupied. So it can be assumed like this. Here you can see the lowest energy levels of the quantum system of a particle in a three-dimensional box. The lowest energy is available for the combination of numbers n1, n2 and n3 equal to 1. Its energy is the lowest. What is the energy equation for energy? Equation for energy is E equal to 8 pi square, h square by 8 ma square E equal to h square by 8 ma square into n square, or it is given by h square by 8 ma square into nx square plus ny square plus nz square. This is the equation for energy. So if we plot different energy levels corresponding to, or different states corresponding to different energy levels, the distribution of different levels will be like this. So what is the meaning of density of states? If we choose any particular energy level, suppose this energy level is represented by dE, within this energy interval, how many number of states are available to be occupied? So for example, just for an illustration purpose, let us choose this energy interval. How many number of states are there? There are totally 7 number of states available to be occupied. So this number represents the density of states within this energy interval. So this is just for the representation purpose. When we come into higher energy levels, there will be more number of states, and it is not just easy to count the number of states like this. So when we come into a more detailed understanding about density of states, first of all, let us use G of E dE as the notation for density of states. What does G of E dE means? It means the number of states available in the energy interval dE which can be occupied by the electrons. Now if we want to calculate the total number of electrons within that energy interval, the number of electrons having that amount of energy, then all you need is to multiply the number of states available with the probability of occupancy, the probability that the electron will occupy that state. So isn't that an obvious equation? If we have 7 number of states, and if suppose the probability of occupation is 1 by 2, then how many number of electrons can be found there? Approximately 3 to 4, right? This is a basic concept. Now think about that equation. We have here 7 number of states. Suppose our energy interval is very small and we have 6 number of states. And suppose there are 1 by 2 probability for finding electron in each state. That means if we check this state, there is half possibility of finding an electron and half possibility of finding not an electron. So suppose here is also the probability is 1 by 2. So I did not find an electron there. So 1 by 2 probability means when you search 2 of the states, one of them will contain an electron. So how many number of electrons are here? Totally there are 3 number of electrons. How did you get that? If you multiply the number of states with probability, you can find the number of electrons. Now have a brief thinking or brief conceptual analysis about this equation. If you multiply the probability of finding an electron in a state with the number of states within an energy interval, you can find the number of electrons in that energy interval. So that is the concept. Now let us move on. We will think about this equation of N of E dE. Now in order to find G of E dE, what should we do? If the energy levels are very small, when number of states are very small, we can count the number of states within an energy interval. But when we come into higher energy levels, it is not possible to find the number of states, density of states in that manner. So we will be doing a better method. So for that, here you consider the K space or the N space. So we will be considering the N space. N space and K space are similar, just the length is different. So suppose this is the N space, which is Nx, Ny and Nz. Now you are plotting all the combinations of Nx, Ny and Nz here. Suppose the first point is Nx equal to 1, Ny equal to 1, Nz equal to 1. Similarly, for all the combinations of these energy levels, you are plotting a point. This is Nx, Ny and Nz equal to 1. Then Nx2, Ny1, Nz1 and so on, so on. So this distribution of points actually represents each of the combination of Nx, Ny and Nz. All the possible integers are plotted here. Now, we know those points with Nx square plus Ny square plus Nz square equal to N square. Some of the combinations will have Nx square plus Ny square plus Nz square equal to N square. For example, here this combination. For this combination, N square is a constant. For this configuration, Nx square plus Ny square plus Nz square, which is N square, is a constant, and so on. So, if we choose one particular value of N square, and for that value of N square, the Nx square plus Ny square plus Nz square will be a constant. So what should we do? This actually represents a sphere, right? We know x square plus y square plus z square equal to r square. This actually represents a three-dimensional sphere. Similarly, x square plus y square equal to r square represents a two-dimensional circle. This equation represents a sphere. So Nx square plus Ny square plus Nz square equal to a constant N square is actually a sphere in the N space. Suppose this sphere, this shaded sphere represents the sphere corresponding to the equation Nx square plus Ny square plus Nz square equal to N square. Now what is the speciality of this sphere? There may be plenty of points within this sphere and there may be plenty of points outside this sphere. For the points within this sphere, we will have Nx square plus Ny square plus Nz square will be less than N square, right? Within this sphere, the values of the points, the squares of the points added together will be less than N square. And after this sphere or outside this sphere, the value of Nx square plus Ny square plus Nz square will be greater than N square. So you can see here below this level. So if we choose this particular value as our N square, all the points or all the states below that energy level will have lower N square value and so on. And what does it mean to have a lower Nx square plus Ny square plus Nz square? If Nx square plus Ny square plus Nz square is within a particular value, then that means energy is actually limited within that value. For example, if Nx square plus Ny square plus Nz square equal to N square, if this sphere corresponds to that equation, then the surface of this sphere actually represents degenerate states E. All the points at the surface of this sphere will have a constant energy E. And all those points within this sphere will have energy less than E. Is it clear for you? Those points at the surface of this sphere will have Nx square plus Ny square plus Nz square equal to N square, because we draw that sphere like that. Nx square plus Ny square plus Nz square equal to N square. And if we calculate the energy of the points on the surface of this sphere, the energy will be E equal to h square by 8ma square into N square. On the surface of the sphere, N square is a constant and the surface actually represents a constant energy or degenerate states. all the points on the surface of this sphere are degenerate states. And within this sphere, there are plenty of points. And for all those points, the energy is actually less than an E. So from 0 up to energy E, all those points will lie within this sphere. Now, how many number of points are within this sphere? That is our next attempt to find out. So that number of points will be obviously proportional to the volume of this sphere. If the volume of this sphere is larger, there will be more number of points within this sphere. So that just means the energy we consider is larger. Volume is larger for the sphere means energy within which we are considering the points is just larger, and there are more number of states inside that energy or below that energy. So in order to find the number of states within this energy range 0 to E, all we need to consider is the volume of this sphere. That is obvious. But not only the volume, if we look closely, we can understand that here the axis represents nx and the opposite axis actually represents minus nx. Here if this axis represents ny, the opposite axis represents minus ny. And if the upward axis represents nz, the lower axis represents minus nz. Now from our basic understanding about quantum mechanics, we know nx, ny and nz are positive integers. So that means only the positive octant of this sphere is to be considered. All the points in other octants are actually not attainable points. For those points, the sum of the quantum numbers are actually negative. So even if we consider this volume, only the positive octant of this sphere is actually corresponding to the available states. So we will be defining G of E, which is the number of states available between the energy level 0 up to E, as 1/8 of the volume of that sphere, 4/3 pi n cube, because n is the radius of this sphere. For the sphere nx square plus ny square plus nz square equal to n square, the radius is actually n. Here for x square plus y square equal to r square, the radius is r. Here the radius is r. So for this sphere, the radius is n. Its volume will be 4/3 pi n cube, and only 1/8 of this volume correspond to the available quantum states within the energy level 0 to E. So the density of states within the energy level 0 to E will be 1/8 4/3 pi n cube. Now we know the equation connecting energy and n as E equal to h square by 8 ma square into n square. So from this equation, the equation for n can be calculated as n equal to 8 ma square by h square into E whole raised to 1/2. So this is the equation for n in terms of E. So I am going to substitute this equation into the equation for n here, because we finally want G of E, right? We want density of states as a function of energy. Now it is a function of n. So I am going to substitute for n in terms of E. So substituting like that, we will get G of E equal to 1/8 into 4/3 pi, instead of n, 8 pi square m by h square into E whole raised to 1/2, the whole cube, n cube. So if we simplify this equation, we will get 1/8 into 4/3 pi into 8 pi square m by h square E. So this is 1/2, sorry, whole raised to 1/2, whole raised to 3/2. Now let us simplify this equation again. I am going to multiply, or I am going to write 8 as 4 into 2 pi square m by h square. There is one, sorry, this equation is actually 8ma square, right? Here I made a mistake. This is actually 8ma square. 8ma square. 8ma square. So please change that. It is not 8 pi square m. It is 8ma square. Here also 8ma square. And again 8ma square into e all raised to 3 by 2. So 1 by 8 into 4 by 3 pi into 2m whole raised to 3 by 2. 2m whole raised to 3 by 2 is written here. A square whole raised to 3 by 2 is a cube. H square whole raised to 3 by 2 is h cube. Then e raised to 3 by 2. Now the one term that I missed is 4 raised to 3 by 2. What is 4 raised to 3 by 2? 4 raised to 1 by 2 is 2. 2 cube is 8. So 4 raised to 3 by 2 is 8 into 8. So that 8 and the denominator 8 will cancel. So that is why I splitted this into 2. In order to cancel 1 8, I splitted that. Now what are the remaining terms? It is g of e equal to 4 pi v by 3h cube into 2m whole raised to 3 by 2 into e raised to 3 by 2. This is the equation for the density of states, which means the number of states available between 0 to energy range 0 to E. Now, if I differentiate this equation with respect to E, it will be g of A dE equal to 4 by 3 pi v by h cube into 2m whole raised to 3 by 2 into 3 by 2 e raised to 1 by 2 dE. So I differentiated the equation g of E with respect to E one time, and the new equation is like this. What does this equation means? This actually gives the number of energy states within an energy interval dE. This equation actually gives the number of energy levels or density of states in the energy range 0 to E, from 0 up to energy E. So we have changed this equation by differentiating, and this equation gives the number of states in the energy interval dE. Now if we assume the Pauli's exclusion principle, we know the Pauli's exclusion principle allows one energy level or one state to be occupied by two electrons. One upspin and one downspin electron can occupy a single level, single state. So this should be multiplied by 2 if we assume each of these electron states as separate states. So I am going to multiply g of dE by 2 in order to accommodate for the Pauli's exclusion principle, which allows for two electrons or two electron states to be occupied in one state, in one level. So the final equation will be like this: g of E dE equal to, this 3 will cancel, 2 will cancel with the 4 to give 2. So multiply by 2, 2 into 2 pi v by h cube into 2m all raised to 3 by 2 e raised to 1 by 2 dE. Now what is this final equation? It is 4 pi v by h cube into 2m whole raised to 3 by 2 into e raised to 1 by 2 dE. Now if we calculate the density of states per unit volume, we need to divide this by V, right? So this is the density of states without considering the unit volume over the whole volume. And if we consider the density of states in a unit volume, then that will be g dash of E dE is equal to 4 pi by h cube into 2m whole raised to 3 by 2 into e raised to 1 by 2 dE. We cancel the v in the numerator with the denominator v. So this is the final equation for the density of states within the energy interval dE, that is already understood, per unit volume. So now I think you have obtained the concept of density of states. Now we will substitute this or use this equation to find the number of electrons within an energy range. So in order to get a more clear picture, we have a picture here from your textbook. So this distribution of points actually represents all the possible quantum states. Each of this dot will be one combination of nx, ny and nz. So this is the n space with nx, ny and nz along the axes. Now all these points are each of the quantum states that are available to be occupied. Now when we talk about density of states is the number of states in an energy interval. So we have to first draw an radius n, and if we draw a sphere there, the surface of the sphere will correspond to degenerate states with same energy E. All the points within that sphere will have the energy less than E. And if we need to consider the density of states, number of states in a small energy interval, we will be considering a small strip at the surface, a small narrow range E plus dE, and this energy interval is dE. The points that are falling in that small interval will have the small energy range dE, and the number of states or number of points in that range is actually g of E dE. So that is what we have derived now. We have got the equation for g of E dE and also the per unit volume g of E dE, g dash of E dE. And in the next class we will use this equation for getting some further equations of number of electrons and Fermi energy level, etc. So I hope you understood the concept of the density of states. Thank you.